And we welcome you to This is Wrestling Live Part 2. This is the second time we're doing it. Versage and Zach McGibbon. WrestleMania Night 1 in the books. And now 11 o'clock. Sunday morning. There is nothing I wanted to do more than get up. Was up late last night doing a lot of stuff for OSN. Watching WrestleMania late. Didn't check my phone, got up, did some chores around the house, got my coffee, came in here, and I'm like, I need Salty Zach. I need Zach McGibbon, the Zote, the Zach of all trades, to talk about night one of WrestleMania. How are you this morning, Zach?
I woke up last night from watching 4 hours, close to 4 hours, whatever the runtime was. Some points I felt like it was still going. And I'm here this morning.
Yep.
I am ready to talk about this show, this WrestleMania show that I watched live. I watched it all. Every single excruciating minute of this show I watched.
Oh, don't be like that.
Oh, Lee, what are we? We've lost the plot. Like, we've truly lost the plot. We've really gone into this different direction here.
I mean, we got a whole night ahead of us.
We got another night of this.
We got 4.5 hours to come tonight on Sunday night. So it's like, we better get a recap in. We better talk about night one because we got a whole other night to go. As we welcome people to This is Wrestling Live. If you want to get in, on the chat, you watch night one, you got some thoughts, you want to talk about how great some of the matches were.
Oh, I dare you to try and say that in the chat right now. I dare you. I dare one of you to try and say what was great.
Do I need to talk to you, Zach, before the show again to go like, Zach, let's find some positives. Like, let's try and be balanced with our coverage.
Oh, I'm just going to call it how I see it. Like, that's how it's supposed to go.
I agree. It's
supposed to be balanced. It's supposed to be like, I'm just going to call it how I see it. Trust me, I try to go into this show after all of the build that we saw the last couple of weeks. Like, you know what? A lot of times when you have shows like this and, with the way the build has been the last couple of weeks, like, you know what? These guys, they're going to go out there and they're going to try their hardest. It's like, you know what? They've got a chip on their shoulder. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe these guys will have their working boots on. Maybe they'll have something that we're not thinking of, and they're going to change the course.
It is WrestleMania. Of course, they're going to have their working boots on.
One would think.
Yeah.
But as we go through this show, and as I lay out what was on this show, because you know what? I'm just going to say it right now. I'm just going to say it right now and set the tone here. Lee, this is the worst WrestleMania I've ever watched. Like, this is just like, not just because of the matches.
Hold on. Did you watch WrestleMania 9?
I know you're going to talk about WrestleMania 9, and I know you're going to talk about WrestleMania 11. I'm telling you, Lee, at least those shows had pacing. At least those shows felt like a WrestleMania show. They just fell flat. And at least there was stuff on there on those WrestleMania shows that I could probably try and find and say, okay, at least this was some. I'm telling you, Lee, the whole presentation of this show, this felt lackluster. This felt cheap. I felt like my time was being wasted. The matches, we're going to talk about match lengths here and timing. I mean, this was just, I don't know how any wrestling fan could sit there and find this acceptable at all. I've seen some of the reaction online, and I've seen, people have been saying this is one of those shows that, for them, it was their worst show of all time. Worst WrestleMania of all time, right? Mm-hmm. But it wasn't just the matches, Lee, why I think this is the worst WrestleMania of all time. We will break this down as this goes along. But it was the overall presentation, the energy in the crowd, and we talked about working boots earlier. These guys, like, maybe with the exception of one match, I thought there was at least some more than 70% effort, I thought. Because it just really felt like a drag at points. So that's the tone I'm coming into this with. I am salty. I feel like my time has been wasted. I saw more of Hulk Hogan during this time than I saw any other wrestler at WrestleMania. How is this? So we'll get through it all.
All right. Well, Kingdom 56893 says hi, and I subscribed and I liked.
Thank you, Kingdom.
Fantastic. A Kingdom Cody Rhodes reference with the email attachment, possibly with the handle.
Yep.
Like that a lot. And we will continue to break down, because I'm going to try to limit Zach, and then what will happen is that as I'm trying to curtail him, I'm trying to keep him down, I'm trying to not let him explode, I will then probably just explode at the end because I'm been pressing him down the whole time.
Yes.
But let's remember, we're only half done. And I somewhat mean that, like, when we look back on the show, and yes, it's going to be in totality a 9-hour show, but when we look back on it, we have to look back on the whole thing and not just one of the parts of it. So there are some things coming up tonight that I've always said, and we said on our preview show, the two matches, like I asked you the match you're most looking forward to, and then I gave mine, and both of them are different, and both of them are on night 2.
Yep.
So when we look back in totality, maybe some of it changes, but we're here on a Sunday morning to talk about night 1. So let's talk about night 1. Okay. So,
let's go.
Yeah, there's so much. So they come out, and it's like, you know, the WrestleMania, and I had somebody here watching it with me, and my friend Eric was here, and he's not into wrestling like we are. Yep. But he likes it, but every now and again. So they do the opening, and they do the full WrestleMania of 42 years and all the things. And he's like, oh, yeah. And he is so pumped. And I'm like, it's probably going to be the best part. Right there.
Yeah.
Right? Probably going to be the best part. John Cena comes out, the host of WrestleMania, and says nothing.
Yeah. He did mention how it's like, it's been kind of a polarizing ride to this WrestleMania, hasn't it? Like, it sure has. That's one way of putting it. Sure. I don't know what's going on with WWE, where they're just like it's weird. They're just full on acknowledging, this has kind of sucked, hasn't it? Like, this has really been.
Isn't there something in your wrestling brain that says that they're leading to something?
Right.
That when they come out and talk about how polarizing it is and how the ride has been bumpy and up and down, but don't worry, like, we got some surprises. And like, you always think in the back of your mind, like, okay, even if they've screwed up so far, they're going to pretend like this big surprise, or that, you know, the great stuff that they're going to do was planned all along, which we know now it is not.
Right.
But still, you're waiting for something big. And we start out with I Show Speed, Logan Paul, Austin Theory against the Usos and LA Knight.
Yeah.
So I will tell you, Zach, this is a match I was probably the least looking forward to of maybe all of the WrestleMania matches. I had zero interest in this match. I'll tell you my positives. Okay.
All right.
My positives is that one of my favorite guys in the WWE is Logan Paul. I love Logan Paul. So this was like him sort of forced into this 6-man tag. I'm like, you could have him be so much better, but I get it. I Show Speed's on the other side, and you got your YouTubers against each other. I totally understand. I thought when the Vision came out, yes, I Show Speed was with them, but when Austin Theory and Logan Paul came out, with the tag belts and sort of dressed a little bit, the same and actually looking like a team, I thought they looked pretty good. I thought they looked like, hey, yeah, those are the tag team champions.
So let me get this straight. The positive that you are laying out here on this very show is that the tag team champions looked like tag team champions on the Major League Wrestling show.
Before they got to the ring.
Before they got to the ring.
Yeah, that's
like, you know what?
That's an important thought.
They really dressed for the occasion. Good on them.
Yes.
Oh, we're off to a great start already. We're like, oh, yeah, they really dressed for the occasion.
Because when they came out, I'm like, okay, they look good. Like, they look like they're important. They got a new kind of Vision logo. They were dressed like tag champs. They look like tag champs. And I'm like, okay, all right.
No Paul Heyman, notably, with them. So he probably has better things to do, but
at WrestleMania. That's all I got. After that, I'm gonna let you take it. I can tell you that somewhere in the 7-minute to 7:10 range, the 6-man tag started and ended. With 6 of your superstars kicking off WrestleMania in the way that it is supposed to get the crowd going. It is supposed to make sure that everybody is like, when it finishes, the opener of night 1 is supposed to have people ready for the rest of the card and be on the edge of their seat. Take it away.
Well, out of all the matches I've seen at WrestleMania, seen a lot of matches at WrestleMania, especially on this podcast over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Out of all the 6-man tags, this is absolutely one of them. This is absolutely one of the matches I watched.
I knew that was going to be your gimmick too.
Yeah,
I almost ruined it for you.
I watched it. They came out. LA Knight came out of a giant truck with ads all over it, which really set the tone for the rest of the show of what I watched and what I consumed, because I am a consumer, Lee.
Yeah.
In the eyes of the WWE, I am not a fan. I am merely there to consume product and consume advertising. So of course I consumed a truck that had advertising all over it. LA Knight stood on top of the truck. There's a lot of yeeting, as you mentioned. Like we gotta do it on the live stream. We gotta do our yeeting. We're yeeting here on the live stream. We're yeeting. And then I still get a kick that, you're positive in this match was that the wrestlers that are tag team champions look like tag team champions.
Well, I will throw it back to you, Zach.
Yes.
What was your positive out of this match? And is it a better one than mine?
They didn't screw up any moves that I can recall.
No. When you say positive, you can't start with they didn't. That's actually negative.
Okay. Well,
right? Like, it's about what they did. It's not about what they didn't do.
I thought, iShow Speed showed up in good shape, and he seemed like he was game for what was going on.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, he showed up and he was game for what was going on.
He took it seriously.
Yep, he understood the assignment,
right? And
he took his bumps. And I gotta. It's not easy to just go in there and do it, as some might think it is. So he went in there and he took the bumps that he needed to take, and so that's one positive. This was very. You could have just implanted this on Monday Night Raw, and it would have been.
This wasn't even a main event on Monday Night Raw.
No, it was just like.
This was just another match on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, this is second hour of Monday Night Raw.
Like what are they doing? Like, it wasn't even like, I don't like LA Knight and I don't like the Usos and I don't really know all that much or care that much about iShow Speed. But this is supposed to get the crowd going, like as a concept of what you're going to do, their concept. And I want people to understand this. I'm starting to get heated already, and I gotta wait for that because there's a couple other points that I probably am going to get heated. But like the whole idea of the opener of WrestleMania is to get people that next level excitement, right? It's to open the show with a bang. We've talked about for years that you either want to open the show or close the show, right? Like that's the idea of a big show, especially WrestleMania. Wrestlers talk all the time, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. They talk all the time that if they're not closing WrestleMania, they want to open it. They want to be the first person, the first team to be shown when people are watching for free on goddamn ESPN. Like what a moment for people to be told you're going to open up WrestleMania and it's going to be on ESPN.
Yeah.
For free. That's a major moment to me. And this is what they came up with? Zach, this opening, this opening, and I hate pre-shows because the shows are so long anyway. Even with AEW or anything else, like 0 hour is zero interest for me. Like, it's the same thing. I don't like them at all. This first hour that was free on ESPN of WrestleMania felt like a pre-show.
It really did. Especially with the crowd energy in this. And the crowd energy all night. Like, other than certain points, which we'll get to, this crowd was not into this. And these people, they spent $20,000 to be there. They put out a down payment on a house to get to Las Vegas and sit there. And what did the WWE feed them? This. I mean, like, we'll get to it, but like the match itself was just any match you could see on Monday Night Raw, not even a main event Monday Night Raw. Like this was second hour, you would watch this like, oh, this is good for a second hour, and they're in Spokane, and they're trying to light up the crowd. But this is WrestleMania opener night, the first night. You're setting the tone.
Yeah.
And it was just lifeless. And so, but the match wasn't really what it was being set up for, which, great. I love when the match is not the reason you're tuning in to watch this segment. The reason why they tuned in is because, I Show Speed, for some reason, he got hesitant about doing the move there for the Vision, which, me, I love that. I love when wrestlers get hesitant about doing their moves in a wrestling match. I know it's I Show Speed, but, you've been training for this. You've been doing this thing for so long. Now you're in the match. You're like, oh, I don't know. I'm so hesitant. My hands are up. I'm feeling conflicted. Like, now you're feeling conflicted in a wrestling match. And so I Show Speed's conflicted. It leads to the victory for LA Knights and the Usos. And they go out and Logan Paul, he shoves I Show Speed. And he's like, you ruined my WrestleMania moment. You ruined my WrestleMania. He's pointing at himself, shoves him. And then it leads to, he's initially going to put I Show Speed on the announce table. And he's going to do the big elbow drop from the top of the turnbuckle, right? Dive to the outside. But then, I guess LA Knight and the Usos had a change of conscience. They're like, oh, we should probably go out there and protect I Show Speed.
The guy that we just beat up for, well, I was going to say for a long time, but for 7 minutes.
The guy who cost them the tag team championships, by the way, on Raw. But they're like, let's forget about that. We gotta go protect this guy.
And so I'm so glad you brought that up, because that was going to be my final point on this match.
Yes.
That's insane. Like, what do you think of your tag team titles? Do you expect people to watch that and not connect the dots? That I Show Speed cost the Usos the tag team championship? And you just were like, he's probably just a pretty good guy.
Yeah.
Look at Logan Paul's doing him wrong. No, he did you wrong for the title.
Yes.
And now you're just going in to save him to be on his YouTube channel? Oh my God.
So dumb. It's so dumb, Lee. And so they come in, they beat up Logan Paul, and they switch it around. And the celebrity does the elbow drop to another celebrity on the announce table. I want you to put a pin on that. I want you to put a pin on celebrity elbow drops another celebrity into the announce table. And better yet, put a pin on moves performed on the announce table during this show. Okay? Just put a pin on this.
Yeah, I know where you're going, but we'll get there.
So I show Speed. He stands on top and he gets right. He doesn't even stand on the top turnbuckle. He stands on the top of the ring post. And then he's like taking it in. They have this like roaming drone shot, right? It's waiting. It did take a little bit longer. Like the timing felt like it took a little bit too long.
It did, but it was still a cool visual.
Yeah, it was still like I have to admit, if we're going to go for positives here,
right,
was really nicely shot. Although I thought WWE production also had an off night, but they were able to zoom around and he does the diving crossbody. He lays out Logan Paul on the outside on the announce table. And then they go back in the ring and they celebrate. This is the guy that screwed us over for those tag team titles. Isn't he a great guy? Hand raise. What a great guy he is.
All right.
Stupid.
Let's move on, because again, I was watching it with someone who doesn't really watch wrestling all that much. And so we move on to Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre in an unsanctioned match. And my buddy Eric turns to me and goes, sorry, I just don't like, what is an unsanctioned match again? And then I kind of explained to him what it was and what to expect coming up in this match. And then we didn't really get a lot of the things that I explained to him.
Well, it was funny because WWE, they're literally going on the program. He's like, WWE will not be held liable for what happens during this match. And I already knew just from that line, I'm like, this is not going to be the match I think anybody. But they're literally going out on commentary. It's like, look, WWE, we don't hold ourselves liable to this. Like, whatever happens, happens. Slim Jim, who sponsors the tables there in the match, they're all good with it. They're okay with the unsanctioned match. But us, WWE, that puts on the matches, oh, no, whatever happens, it's on them. Slim Jim, fine. WWE, no. So they go on commentary, and they're like, we don't know the barbaricness of what's going to go on here. Michael Cole, again, I'm going to have some Michael Cole-isms I'm going to bring up all night, too, because he also had himself a night. In the previous match, his voice cracked during the diving crossbody. He's like, oh, that's a bad time to voice crack. Little did I know it would happen multiple times on this show with Michael Cole. I'm like, are you sick? Like, are you sick? Like, why do you constantly... I've never heard a lead commentator have his voice crack so much during this show.
Now, I will give you credit on this. Sometimes it's harsh to criticize announcers when maybe they're sick, maybe they're going, because we've all been there.
Yep.
I did a 4-hour show one time on another radio network that I used to work for when I had COVID, and it was like I had to go on.
Yep.
And I couldn't talk. Like my voice was gone. And you would think that, you know, somebody would have gone, well, he shouldn't be on. No, we need you on. And then everyone complained the whole time and told, like, I was the one that decided that I was going to go on. Like, I wanted to go on because I have such a big ego that I wanted to go on.
Right.
Anyway, being critical of announcers, but I will tell everyone listening, Zach McGibbon, or should I say Zach Show Speed?
Oh, excuse.
Is a wrestling commentator for multiple wrestling organizations. Of anybody that has the right to say this, it is you. So I'm glad that you did, because I noticed it. I didn't think you had a very good night.
Again,
I'm not a wrestling commentator. You are, for shows. And you know that sometimes in your mind, you can be totally prepared and have the great call leading up, and something happens at the very end. But what did you think of Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre as a whole?
Well, after the way that they were setting it up, it's unsanctioned. WWE will not be held liable for this. Like, I'm like, okay, here we go. We're locked in. I don't know why we're putting the unsanctioned match on ESPN, but we're gonna do it. Like this is the match. We're gonna do it.
That's another thing. We're gonna put this on free TV for everyone to see that nobody's responsible for it.
That's right. It's incredible. But this was a WWE brawl. I will say, on the preview show, I was like, get ready for when they run into the barricade, and they're like, oh, they ran into the barricade, and get ready for the kendo sticks. And I have to give them credit. They resisted the urge, and they did not go through the barricade. So job well done. I was fully expecting a barricade spot. It did not happen.
I told you on the pre-show that they wouldn't do that.
You did. I was not convinced. I'm like, I've seen it in every street fight, Extreme Rules, unsanctioned match, no holds barred, whatever extreme fight you want to call it at WWE. I've seen some variation of it. And I thought for sure it was going to happen with Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu, but they did not do it. And they did not bring out kendo sticks. I thought for sure there would be kendo sticks. They did not do that. This was a WWE brawl. There was a wrench. I remember the wrench spot where he was driving the wrench. It was like, oh, maybe the lead's going to be right here. Maybe there is going to be color. Like maybe they are going to bleed here.
Can we just stop there? I said there'd be color. When they had a wrench going into somebody's forehead, like a full big, like 1.5 foot wrench, like a big wrench, not a small wrench, a
giant wrench,
a giant wrench. And now they're jamming it into somebody's forehead and the camera cuts away. I'm like, yes, I did it.
There's the bleeding.
I did it, because when they pan back, he's going to be busted open.
Yes.
Well, he did not do that.
No, he did not.
Oh, sorry, Zach. Like I know we're doing live shows and stuff, but my groceries are here.
Oh, just to
let you know.
How about that?
I got. Listen, Zach said we need to do a live show, and I'm like, well, I got to get someone to do my groceries. So,
your own personal Instacart there, Lee. That's what you got going on.
Yeah. What I am is very grateful for the gentleman that just came in to help me out with some of the things that I needed, because I couldn't go because I was doing the show.
Yeah, you have to hear me rant and ramble on for for this long.
Excuse says, we're doing it live.
That's right.
Yes. This is nothing would tell you about a live show. How much do I owe you? A lot. Okay. Yeah. Just let me know how much I owe you.
We appreciate you, good sir.
We do appreciate you. Thank you very much. And now you've made an appearance on the live wrestling show.
Yes.
No, I don't think they saw you either. Do you want me to mention your name or no? You are there's 21 masked men. None came in at WrestleMania, but one did come.
I think I did accidentally reveal his name when I was saying it, so I think it's already.
Oh, did you? Okay. Yeah. Well, it's our good friend, this super fan who clearly does not want to hear a review of WrestleMania.
No,
he's more of an
I don't blame him. I don't.
An AEW guy anyway, so he doesn't need it.
Yeah. Where were we at? Oh, the wrench. So
but Zach, when they came back, I'm like, yes, I've done it. I told you there would be blood. I told you there would be. Like, it'd be gushing. There's a 1.5 foot wrench. They come back, nothing. I'm like, oh my God.
Yep. No, he's fine.
Oh my God.
I mean, it'd be one thing if it was like the eye and he's like selling his eye for the rest. He didn't even do that. He's
just a wrench to the head and then he's fine.
Yeah, he's all good. He's just walked it off. Like, good. Yeah. So yeah, there was a toolbox. There was like 1,000 chairs.
The toolbox came into play way too much, by the way.
Oh yeah, it absolutely did.
Like a big red toolbox. Come on.
And they were trying to do the flashback to CM Punk, right? The Hell in a Cell a few years ago, and Drew McIntyre's all like freaked out, like his hands are shaking and his face is shaking. He's like, "Oh, it's a toolbox!" Like so it's like, all right, fine, I guess. So
look at
how
this.
about that?
Ben says fake news. I can't be in the chat and dropping off groceries.
How about that?
Actually, you can be, and you're probably still in your car in my driveway or on the way home. But I'm still very appreciative. Yes. Oh, and I like this one. Excuse says it's Suber Eats.
Yes.
That's not Uber Eats. And you know what? Excuse. This is why we need you. Okay. This is why we do live shows, because if we didn't do a live show, Super Eats would never be a thing. And
That's
I feel
true.
like Super Eats is now going to be a thing,
Absolutely.
especially with
I
that
love it.
unbelievable. Like, he went to Costco
Yep.
and I needed some things and not going to be able to get out today. And he asked me, I didn't ask him to go, by the way.
Right.
He did ask me. I said, well, if you're going, there's a couple of things. And he dropped him off because he's a good dude.
He is a good dude. He's a very good
And
dude.
so probably overcharged me on the receipt, probably made a fake receipt to double the price and stuff. But I know.
Well, there's the tip that you have to account for, the delivery fee and the service fee.
Isn't that what we're all waiting for, to get to the end of the Costco line? And would you like to add a tip? And it's like 15, 18, and 20%.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're all waiting for, because that's the end of life at that point.
Yes.
Like that's the end of life. Anyway, so Jacob Fatu defeats Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. There was a flip bump. Jacob Fatu did a flip bump into a table that got no reaction. And I was like, that was a cool spot, and nobody reacted to it.
So he can really fly around the ring. And Drew McIntyre, I'm telling you, so underrated. Like, the spot where he just jumped over the top rope and did the flip onto Jacob Fatu on the floor. Like, I just don't think people understand, for a guy that's 280, 285 and his frame, to jump that high and get his feet over the top rope and not trip. Because if that spot, to me, is always not crazy, but like, to be able to do it, I don't know that it gets the payoff and that people react to that with how hard and what can go wrong on that spot.
Yep.
Especially for somebody with the frame of Drew McIntyre. He did that so well out to the outside. And then when Jacob Fatu gets up and does the kind of bouncing moonsault, which he did twice in this match, it's a spectacle to see.
He's great. I'm a big Jacob Fatu guy, so I'm hoping that this is an indicator of him getting a bigger push.
Yeah.
But there were other things in this match too, where it's like Drew McIntyre did the thing again where he grabbed the phone from the corner and he was recording it and he posted it on social media. I feel like it's law of diminishing returns, as they say, where it's like it's not as cool as it happened the first time, but it's pro wrestling, so you have to like drive it into the ground, because once you find something, you get something.
Like, you mean like Skewes, who had a really good one with Super Eats and then goes OCD, one cool dude. Oh yeah. And now Skewes should have stopped at one. Right? Like, you don't have to keep going. When you hit your mark, wave to people and then say, you know what? That's the only time I'm going to attempt something like this during the show.
One too many high spots on that. One too many high spots.
So I can tell you that when this match ended, I was like, it was okay. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was just kind of average. I wanted more out of the unsanctioned match.
Yeah.
But I still like Jacob. I still like Drew. I feel like they try when they go out there, which I don't feel with everybody.
Yep.
And they are able to execute things that other people can't. So when I got to the end of this, I'm like, it's okay. I can tell you, Zach, that as the night went on, this match was one that I look back and went, it's probably better than I thought now.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say too, two things. One, it was very hilarious when they were taking the belt from the referee, and because this is unsanctioned match, the ref's like, "Oh no, guys, no! Like, that's my belt. Like, what are you doing?" And, like, can't just like pull it back from him. It's like,
why didn't you just bring a belt out? Like,
it's like
unsanctioned. Why didn't you just bring one?
This poor ref is getting humiliated here, getting his belt taken off. And he's like, oh, guys, like, come on, don't do this to me. And then Michael Cole said at the end of this is like, he said, well, that truly lived up to the expectations of the unsanctioned match. And I was like, I've never heard a line where he was both incredibly right, but also incredibly wrong. Like, it was so, I'm like, really? Okay. He's like, oh, that was so brutal. And that was, I guess it was. Maybe the wrench spot would have been more brutal if there was blood, but but Michael Cole tried to sell this. Like, oh, this was so brutal. It lived up to the expectations of an unsanctioned match. I was like, I guess. Sure. Thanks, Michael.
Okay, well, right into Zach, the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, kind of a fatal four-way with 4 teams. Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss come out first. I thought they looked good coming out. It was like, okay, that's a decent entrance for a team like Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, who are just kind of like a mid-card women's tag team right now.
They
Like
had the butterfly wings.
Yeah, it looked
Alexa
good.
Bliss had her doll. You know how I feel about the doll. So.
Yeah, but she didn't overdo the doll.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
She just had it, because I think it's a big thing for some of the younger kids that associate Alexa Bliss with the doll. She didn't overdo it on that at all.
Nope.
Bailey and Lyra Valkyria come out. It's like they never practiced their entrance once when they came out. Like, just sloppy. Look, like, what the hell was that? I'm like, this was a house show entrance.
Yep.
That's what it was. I was embarrassed. And then, Zach, like, I'm going to talk a lot on this show about the entrances, and then you're going to talk about the matches.
Yeah.
Because I can't even get to the matches, because then the third team out of 4 to come out are the tag team champions. The Irresistible Forces. Which I actually thought in an ode to Demolition, which was kind of not the only ode to Demolition on the night, but Demolition getting into the Hall of Fame, they come out and they're all dressed in white, but dressed up like Demolition.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I thought to pop you, this will probably be something you might only get. Who knows? But I was looking as like, are they doing a tribute to Jason the Terrible right now? Like they look like Jason, and then they pointed to Demolition. Like, oh, Demolition, that's right. They're in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
That's right. Okay, gotcha.
That's a good callback. But to give them credit again, I thought this was a decent ode to Demolition.
Yeah.
I thought they should have looked a little bit fiercer. Like they kind of strolled out instead of like what Demolition would do. But I like the outfits. They look good. But this is like, these are your tag team champions. They're coming out 3rd of 4th. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Knowing that, like, I know Nikki Bella's hurt, but like, what are they doing? Why would the Bellas come out last? Oh, they're going to have some big surprise for us. Yeah. Like, because you'd never have the tag team champions looking like Demolition come out 3rd of 4th like they're any other team.
Yeah.
Like, this was so ridiculous on the way that you present your champions. But as Tanner says, the Tanner's in watching WrestleMania. Not so much. Watching Zach rant about WrestleMania, that's a green check mark.
Yeah.
But woo,
there's more to come.
But we got a big surprise. We got a secret.
Oh, we got a little secret lead.
We got to bring up the Bellas last, because we're going to pop some people. Like you just know your tag team champions, who, by the way, Nia Jax and Lash Legend. Lash Legend is one of those, like, she's not there yet, but you can see what they see in her.
Yeah.
Presented with Nia Jax as the Irresistible Forces. I don't like the name, but I do think there's a concept there with them that they could go out there and kind of dominate the women's tag titles and look like this dominant team. Now they come out dressed as Demolition. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And they present them like they're goddamn mid-carders in the mid. Like, it's unbelievable the lack of respect they have on their champions and the way that they present their people that are supposed to be important.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Can you tell me one reason why they wouldn't have done so? Then the Bellas come out last.
Yep.
And Nikki's in a boot still, and she's
Which,
been.
by the way, before I let you continue, Nikki Bella said yes during the Hall of Fame ceremony that she would compete. She literally like went to the reporter and said she will compete. I will be ready to go for WrestleMania tomorrow. And so I just want to set that as well, by the way. You could continue.
But she was walking around in a boot all week.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, first of all, I heard other radio programs be like, well, are the Bellas going to be there? Like, is Nikki Bella working us? Stop. Is Nikki Bella working us? Number one, I don't care. There isn't a number two. Like, like that's it.
Yeah.
Like,
well, Lee, I was denied Nikki Sawa at WrestleMania and her rolling elbow. So
so Nikki Bella comes out. She's in a boot. Well, I'm not cleared to compete. I'm so sorry. Yeah, like we're actually super grateful, Nikki. So
yeah, we're like, oh, that sucks.
We're super grateful to not watch you in the ring again. But I got a surprise for you, and it's Paige.
Yes, I see the comment here from Scoots.
Yeah, Saraya. But I did see Richard, who said, hey, I popped for Paige. Okay.
There you go.
And then Scuse is in here and says, nobody expected Paige there, said Michael Cole, as the camera points to I'm here for Paige shine.
It was so good. The timing was so perfect.
Like, you just can't make it up, right?
Yes, just like, why even bother? Thanks, Scoots, for breathing. I was
so good.
Make that point, and I was just like, oh, Michael
So
Cole, what a night.
What, like, so, Zach, I'm gonna let you actually talk about the match. We got new tag team champions.
Yeah, get fired up.
Literally to get one girl crying in the ring is why they did this, right?
Yeah,
like,
well, it's a moment. It's a moment.
Paige and Brie Bella are your new tag champs. For what reason? No idea. For the fact that the Bellas never did anything to even be in the title picture anyway, let alone one of them to get hurt, bring in another surprise, and they win the tag belts as this kind of random team. You know they're losing them like Monday or like next week. They're not keeping them. But the WWE knew that if we bring Paige back, she's going to cry. She's an emotional person. She's going to cry, and we're going to get a moment. And I swear to God, that's why they did this. And I looked back on this match, just sort of getting the run times again for, 8 of the best women in the WWE that went 8 minutes, 33 seconds. And Zach, come on. Like, Zach, Charlotte goddamn Flair is in this match.
Yep.
One of the greatest women's wrestlers in the history of the business. I get that she's gone through some personal things and they kept her out of the world title picture. But come on. Like, Charlotte Flair's in this, and I'm going to get heated for a second. Okay?
All right. I will lay out.
I'm gonna get heated for a second, and you can talk about all the other things that happened in the match, but I just want to lay out for people. So at the end, Charlotte Flair kind of hits one of her moves. She's there. She makes the tag to Alexa Bliss, who's going to go up to the top rope for Twisted Bliss, and we're going to have like new tag champs, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Nikki Bella. So now Alexa Bliss is on the top rope. Nikki Bella pulls Charlotte Flair, Nikki Bella, in a walking boot outside the ring, not cleared to compete. Pulls Charlotte Flair out of the ring. The referee is looking right at her. Okay? Like, she could not be focused in more on what Nikki Bella is doing. Nikki Bella then hit Charlotte Flair with her crutch.
An awful crutch shot, by the way.
Okay, no, but twice.
Yes.
She jams it into her gut and then cracks it over her back. Nikki Bella is not involved in this match.
Correct.
The referee is staring at this. This is not even something that happens like behind, for the referees like doing something away from what should be happening. And, oh, the referee didn't see the outside interference. She is literally staring at it. Zach, can you explain to me what a disqualification would mean and like what it is when a referee is staring at somebody who is not involved in the match, laying a crutch over somebody that is involved in the match, and just literally looks at it and goes, yeah. And then Alexa Bliss, does Twisted Bliss. Paige, glad she's back, doesn't really get the knees up, and it looks awful.
Yeah, that also looked bad too.
Okay. Supposed to get the knees up, and it looked terrible.
Yep.
And then does her cradle DDT. And the referee, even though there's a full disqualification out on the side with somebody who is not involved in the match, hitting somebody with a crutch, not to worry, we're just going to count the 3, and we got new tag team champions. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Zach, I know, look, people will go, it's wrestling and the referee and like all kinds of matches, the referee ends up doing stupid things or not looking at the right time or like putting the turnbuckle back on and not looking or whatever they're doing. She was staring right at it.
Well, Lee, it's a 4-way, and so anything goes in a 4-way, but you also have to abide by the tag rules. So you still have to abide by those rules, but you also can't like you hit the person with the crutch, and it's just a play view. Referee's discretion, Lee. I mean, it's just referee's discretion how they want to enforce it.
Richard says, my non-wrestling friend also asked why no DQ, and I had to say because they make up their own rules. And you know what? Yes, there's no other answer.
Yep.
Because they just tell you it's so.
Because why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why even have a standard, Anyway,
I thought there was just a lot of disrespect on, like, you're building up this team of Nia Jax and Lash Legend. You bring them out in Demolition. I thought they looked really good. You could have them rule the division. You actually probably should have them rule the division. You have Charlotte goddamn Flair in there. And this is in 8 minutes. This is what you're doing. I don't even know, like, why were Bayley and Lyra even in the match? I have no idea.
Yeah, like they were just there.
Anyway,
I mean, this match was just. It was funny because Paige didn't even get involved in the match for the first 5 minutes. She was just standing there on the ropes. She's like, reaching out. I'm ready. But everybody else is getting their spots in because that's how they book all those tag team matches. Like, just do spots. You're going to do this spot over the corner, and you're going to do this spot on the ropes, and you're going to do this spot. But they're all thinking about it. And plus, you've got wrestlers that are not good at doing spot, especially in Lash Legend. Like, she had some really bad looking strikes. Like, she's not very good.
No.
And so they're doing all these spots and they're doing it all over the place. And then they finally are building up to the hot tag with Paige. And then she comes in and she actually got a somewhat of a reaction. But yeah, I mean, it was, and as you mentioned, Paige and Brie Bella won. It's a moment, TikToks, Instagram reels, get into it, get fired up, and just lock in.
So at this point, I started this very late last night because I was out at a junior game, turned my phone off, and I started it late. Didn't have any spoilers though, which is good. And at this point, Zach, I'm like, oh man, this better start getting better because it's getting
We're not
late.
trending very well.
It's getting late early here.
Yeah.
but let's bring out Becky and AJ Lee next. Okay. It's the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And there's a whole bunch of people skipping down that look like AJ Lee. Okay. I don't even know what to say about this match, Zach, other than the fact that we have a new Women's Intercontinental Champion in Becky Lynch. And I don't even know what else to say.
Did you like the lip syncing from Becky Lynch's live band?
I did not.
It was very obvious that they were lip syncing.
As Stardust Tesla says,
there you go.
Wait, what about the live band? That was so awesome. There was nothing awesome about anything. And as Tanner says, but did you hear about the Hulk Hogan documentary?
Oh boy, did I ever, Tanner. Oh, did I see that Hulk Hogan documentary get promoted? Somehow, even in the afterlife, Hulk Hogan still dominates the show in WrestleMania.
Yeah, which we haven't even got to the Hall of Fame thank you Vince chants.
Oh, I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the ESPN reporter that got his credentials denied.
Yeah, okay. We'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
Do you have anything for Becky and AJ Lee? AJ Lee at the end does an interview that says this isn't goodbye, but I'll see you soon. And she's crying with Jackie Redmond. And to be quite honest with you, at this point, literally, AJ, Paige Saraya just cried like 8 minutes ago. So I get it. It's kind of their genuine, natural reaction. But man, I just have nothing to say about this match.
I thought AJ Lee, like, she does not look good. Like, she has not looked good in the ring in her return. So, and Becky, I thought here's the thing. It was a shorter match. It was like 8 minutes. And again, that'll be something I will be bringing up. But it was shorter match, but in a way it worked for them because it was like, if you let these two go like 20 minutes, like we saw last time, like it's just gonna, so in a weird way, I enjoy this more than the previous match, but that's really not a high bar to clear because I didn't like their other match. So I looked at that match was just, I don't really have much else to say either. It was just kind of another one. I will say though, I will say this when it comes to the story. So they mentioned this on commentary. They mentioned that of the last couple of times that Becky and AJ Lee has fought and Becky Lynch has lost, Becky Lynch is tapped out to AJ Lee. Like she has submitted to the Black Widow or whatever.
Yeah.
So of course, Becky Lynch has a gimmick with the referee, right? Like she's upset at the referee. Lee, in the last couple of matches, she has submitted to AJ Lee, like tapped out, said, I give up. So what is she mad at the referee for? Her fast counting. Make that make sense. None of the matches have been some sort of results of like a quick count or anything like that. They have been submissions, but yet somehow Becky Lynch is upset about the fast count from Jessica Carr. Why do I even bother investing in these storylines if they're not going to be consistent with them? And then she's like getting in the face of it wasn't even about the match. It was just basing off against Jessica Carr. And they're like going face to face and Becky Lynch is taking the top turnbuckle pad off. And then she's putting it back on. And then we have our community theater moment where we have to deliver our lines. It's now gone to the referees, Lee. The community theater stuff is now gone to the referees. What has happened to this business that the referees have to have their own lines? What are we doing here? And so they're interacting with each other as like, you count fast. And I don't like you. I don't know why you're assigned to this match. Who could possibly care? Who could possibly care? You've tapped out in your matches, not had fast count pinfall losses. They have 1,000 road agents in there, and not one of them picked it up. I picked it up in my room, on my couch, and not one of the people that get paid for a living to look at this stuff and say, guys, we're doing these tap out finishes. Maybe Becky Lynch should take these pinfall losses. And she's a heel, a delusional heel, and then she can be mad at the referee for these fast counts. But no, she taps out in her matches, but somehow she's upset about the fast count. What are we doing here? There's again 1,000 road agents there, and not one of them picked up. Not Triple H, not Bruce Pritchard, but not Michael P.S. Hayes. Michael P.S. Hayes, who said God himself put him on this earth to book wrestling. Oh my God.
Well, I think Chris Park was trying to get it out. He's just too nervous to talk.
He's like, oh, there's so much to book. I don't know. Am I doing a good job, Mr. Pritchard? Oh my God. I'm so. Not one person picked it up. Not the wrestlers, not the road agents, not the creative team, not Triple H, not Ari Emanuel, not Mark Shapiro, not anybody in TKO. Not one person picked this up and said, huh, there's the company that goes out there and talks about telling stories. They love to tell about stories. Well, why do their stories suck? Why? Why is there no continuity? We haven't even gotten to the worst parts yet. And I'm mad about an Intercontinental Championship match where the whole story is about the fast count, but yet they lose via pin, via tap out. Basic. Number one company in the world, Lee. Number one.
Excuse. It says, rant away, King. Rant away.
There's more coming.
And I just want to get to this. Stardust Tesla says, I want to know why they had all those girls skipping out and didn't tell us what orphanage or Make-A-Wish or school choir they are from. They didn't at all. The only explanation that they had was that after the match, AJ Lee talked about the fact that she kind of inspired a generation 10 years ago and how much that meant to her, and that she wanted to kind of give something back and show, you know, how much it did inspire people from what she was able to do. And that was her reasoning for it. So they never said where they're from, who they were, why they were there. That was just sort of the explanation given kind of well after the match. So yes, we have a new women's Intercontinental champion. With, by the way, everything I ever read about Becky Lynch this week is that this contract will be her last. And I'm so tired of reading like Cody's contract will be his last and Becky's contract will be her last, and AJ Lee looks like she's on the way out. And I think this will be one of my, like, stop talking that way. When you leave, you don't need to tell people this. It's just leave. So I know you're going to rant about this too. And you know what? Since you feel like I feel like you're fired up.
Yeah, I am fired up.
As a good host, I don't know how your feelings about Gunther and Seth Rollins are, but I'm excited to hear about them. I'm going to have to just curtail it because I feel like you're on fire here, but I'll just at least set the stage with the fact that going into WrestleMania last year, you had Gunther retire. Well, Goldberg, I don't even know if that was last year or if it was the year before that. But you had Gunther retire Goldberg. And then John Cena comes out in 2025 and says that this is going to be his last year. And you do a full year from January until December where he turns heel. He wins the title in one of the worst matches ever. But 2025 is the year of John Cena. And John Cena gets retired by Gunther, who is you're setting Gunther up to be your next star. And then you come out and you're like, oh, AJ Styles wants to get out early. He wants to leave. You know what? Gunther's going to retire him too. And Gunther retires AJ Styles. And at this point, you're like, 2026 is going to be the year of Gunther, and I'm here for it. Finally, one guy that I can get behind and go, I'm here for it. The year of Gunther, 2026. And Gunther is mid-carding night one of WrestleMania in the middle of this shit show. Okay?
Yep.
This is like, I'm not trying to be vulgar, but so far in 4 matches This has been a shit show. And now the guy that you have literally told us he is our next guy. We are presenting Gunther as the guy, the career killer. Do you remember when Gunther came out first on Monday Night Raw, the night after he retired John Cena, or 2 nights later?
Yep.
And it was like 20, 25 minutes. He hardly said anything. The crowd's yelling at him. He's laughing at them. And I retired your hero. You know what we're going to do? I got this great concept. We're going to put Gunther in the middle of night 1 of WrestleMania, just in the middle of a card, maybe right after Becky and AJ Lee. But make sure he'll go on before Liv Morgan, because we need another goddamn moment out of Liv Morgan. So we'll place Gunther. I got this great plan after he retired Goldberg, retired John Cena, retired AJ Styles, is the biggest heel in the company. I got this great slot for him. It's going to be 5th out of 8 matches on night 1 of WrestleMania. And you know what the plan is? The plan is we're just going to stick him in with another guy 3 weeks before and really have no story. They can tell you they're telling a story, but they have no story. They have nothing for him. When Rey Mysterio, by the way, your WWE hero, said, I'm not losing to that goddamn guy. I'm hurt. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm not hurt.
Put me in the ladder match.
Put me in the ladder match. I'm actually gonna go retire to my son probably in another 6 months. And Rey Mysterio literally just duped the WWE and talked them out of a match that they were building, because they only had one plan: that Gunther was gonna retire Rey Mysterio. That was their plan. And then when it didn't work out, he's fighting Dragon Lee for a month. Like, what are we doing? And now we're going to put Gunther in the middle of night 1 of WrestleMania. He is your biggest star. You've told us that he's your biggest star by retiring the Hall of Famers, the legends. My God. Like, I just don't even know what Gunther would have been thinking walking out there. And I know it's Seth Rollins. It's one of their biggest people. I get it. So Gunther's like, at least I get to go out, Zach. At least I get to go out and beat a credible guy. At least I get to go and do that in the middle of the mid card on night number 1. Couldn't be a worse spot. Couldn't be. Because you either close the show or you open the show. But on Saturday, it's not Sunday. It's not the big show. It's the middle show. It's the beginning show. It's your B show. And he's going to be in the middle of your B show. He's not going to open it, not going to close it. But at least Saki gets to beat someone credible. Gunther walks into the meeting like, how am I going to beat Seth Rollins clean? Well, actually, Gunther, you're actually going to get some help. We're going to do some outside interference, and we're actually going to promote another storyline. And that storyline's more important than you and whatever you're doing. You know, in the mid card on night number 1, where we're going to absolutely bury you anyway, we're going to take your match and the career killer, and we're actually going to say you need some help to beat this guy. So we're going to promote another storyline in the middle of your match. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm sorry. You can do something with that on the.
Like, it's gonna be a fun edit job. This is why you gotta tune in live, folks.
No, but come on, like, so this was the point for me. Like, I watched the rest, but I'm out. Like, I'm going to watch today, but this was a breaking point for me, because this is like, for everything that you have done as TKO and whatever we're going to get to, and Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton and Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll and everyone else that's involved, this was your one guy for me that, okay, like, you've presented Gunther like he's a career killer. A lot of true wrestling fans put up with all your crap because they like Gunther. They appreciate him. And this is what you're doing. 15 minutes. Anyway, go ahead.
The longest match at this point. And so they come out, and I saw Gunther come out. It's like, the wrestling has arrived. The wrestling has arrived on this show. Gunther is here. He just walks out. He has his little orchestra or whatever, the orchestra music. And then he just walks out. Nothing fancy. I'm just all pro wrestling. I was like, all right, here we go. The pro wrestling has arrived on WrestleMania. Please. Only 4 or 5 matches in, but the wrestling has arrived. And then we go into the geek that is Seth Rollins, and he comes out and he's got all the flames shooting out. He's got the smoking jacket, and
okay,
I'm like,
hold on.
Yeah,
I thought the jacket was cool.
Kept smoking. I was like, is there going to be like a fire extinguisher? Somebody got to put him out.
Okay, did you not think the jacket was cool? Did you think it was nerdy?
I had no strong opinion either way. I thought the contact lenses were geeky. He's a geek with the contact lenses, but
okay. I actually thought the jacket was pretty cool.
Jacket was, you know, it's a WrestleMania entrance. I mean, so
yeah, I've seen better entrances. I'm just saying, as a concept, I thought the jacket was cool. That's all.
Yeah. And these guys wrestled. I forgot to mention in all of this that usually during these shows, I reach out to the Trevor Struthers, and I message him and I just let my rants go. And he does not watch WWE. He is in the same ballpark as Tanner Ryle and Ben Sublier. Right. He is somebody he enjoys when I send the messages being like, this is what's happening right now. And so, but the Trevor was taking a nap. So who did I have to express my frustrations to in real time? Well, one, Ethan Finkley, because Ethan was also messaging me. And so I will say this, for a guy who loves WWE, sure hates a lot of the wrestlers on that roster. I mean, I was like, is there anybody you like? He's like, well, Roman Reigns. Like, well, obviously that one. He likes Jacob Fatu, but it was like, I don't like this guy. And
Ethan is a big WWE homer, for lack of a better term. I got a bunch of messages, which I didn't get till about 2:30 in the morning, because that's when I turned my phone on, or 1:30 or whatever time it was. And it was all negative from Ethan. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Well, this is a staunch WWE guy. So if this guy isn't liking it, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, he was not liking the show either. So I got to give him credit there. So I'm like, Trevor he woke up from his nap during the middle of Randy Orton. Funny enough, that was the same time I was going to sleep. But we'll talk about that later. But in this match, Michael Cole, they have the brawl at the start, right? To get things going. And Michael Cole, in his infinite wisdom, says, I have a feeling we are not getting a 5-star match here tonight. And I was like, what? Why would you say that? Why would you tell me I'm not getting a good professional wrestling match here tonight? Yep. This is the one match I'm like, these two are the ones that I'm like, okay, they could go out there. However I feel about Seth, however I feel about Gunther. I really like Gunther. Seth, you know, I have my thoughts on. But they're good enough wrestlers where I'm like, I'm going to get somewhat of good pro wrestling match. Yep. So, of course, Michael Cole, in his infinite wisdom, was like, I have a feeling we're not getting a 5-star wrestling match here tonight. And I'm like, why would you say that? I've been dying for some sort of a wrestling match. Are you going to tell me, like, you've already told me for weeks that the company sucks and you can't sell tickets and it's too expensive and everything. And now you're going to tell me that you're not getting quality wrestling. What is going on in this company? So I'm looking, it's like, thanks, Michael. Now my mood is just drastically gone down. But they went out there and it was like 80% speed Gunther and 60% speed Seth Rollins. Mm-hmm. And at those speeds, it was a good pro wrestling match, or as Ethan described in my messages, the perfect pro wrestling match. And so I'm like, look, you know, perfect pro wrestling matches. This is not Misawa Kawada we were watching here. Okay. Like, this was not exactly, you know, Misawa Kawada. Okay. This was not exactly Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada I was watching. All right. This was a fine professional wrestling match. It was pretty good. It was starting to get into the next gear. And guess what? The announce table was also used in this match too. Oh, because we got a lot of those spots too. We got the announce table spots. This is like the third time we had the announce table spot in the match of the 6-match card. And just as they were kind of building it up, I'm like, all right, we're getting into another gear here. Braun Breaker runs out. Yeah. Lee, what did I say on the shows? We're coming into this.
I know.
I said if Braun Breaker runs out and they were just saving this for this spot, you already, the storytelling company, Lee. They had a built-in story ready to go. WrestleMania.
Yep.
Guy turns on his leader and now wants to be on his own. The leader wants to come back. That's a ready-made program. But these imbeciles, in their infinite wisdom, said, no, we got to postpone this further. This is a longer feud. You're going to keep Braun Breaker stuck in this feud with Seth? Can we just push the guy? But no, we're going to save him because we got this big spot ready for Braun Breaker. So of course, the one pro wrestling match I was looking forward to, and looking forward to, is Strawn, but comparatively speaking, I was like, they're going to go out there and have some good work. Braun Breaker runs out. He spears Seth Rollins. I threw my hands up in the air, and I'm just like, we're really just going to have another run-in the one match that people are actually like, oh, this could be a good pro wrestling match. Gunther has to come in and sneak in a victory. So like what you mentioned, they had been building up Gunther as this, career killer. Literally, it said career, black and white career killer on the screen. That's the whole thing that they are putting forward. He comes in and he sneaks in a victory over Seth Rollins. I mean, what do these people do all day? Like, preparing for the show. And so
Tanner says, but Zach, we need to bark like dogs.
Oh, well, they were barking like dogs, because we'll talk about the spot here. Because the whole reason they wanted to do this, because they wanted to set up a WrestleMania moment, Lee. Mm-hmm. They wanted to set up the WrestleMania moment. Seth is like weak outside of the ring. He just lost because he took this devastating spear from Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker's coming up the ramp, turns back, and like, we're doing all of this so that we could do the same spot we've been seeing the last couple of months, but it's going to be at WrestleMania. It's going to be on a longer ramp. Okay. He goes full sprint, like he's going on the 40-yard dash and he's getting scouted at the combine. He is running down that ramp and he is going to knock Seth Rollins' head off, right? Like, all right, well, at least it'll be something. And Seth Rollins, in his infinite wisdom, doesn't take the bump properly. I saw some people blaming Braun. Like, no, look at it again. He's running full speed. He's literally like doing the Tom Cruise running down the ramp motion. And Seth like looks and he takes a sidestep. And so Braun has to adjust. And Seth goes, and like he's, lazily falls down from taking the spear. You waited. You didn't even have Braun on your programming because you wanted this spot to be something that comes out of Mania. And it's the worst version of the spear running down the ramp, knocking out a guy. The worst version. All of that. We couldn't have had a Seth Braun match to help us. So
Stardust Tesla says that second longer spear was cool, but a slight miss to the side. Was so hyped when he was running, I almost screamed and he hit him and then he kind of missed. And then Tanner says, and the spear sucked.
Just a bit outside. That's what the spear was. So I'm like, all of that. So we overbooked the finish. We made Gunther look weak. We didn't do the long-term story we'd been building with Braun and Seth, all because we needed to get the one WrestleMania moment, and that didn't even deliver.
At least, though, when WWE Unreal hits, Bruce Pritchard will be able to tell us, like, because on the last Unreal, right, it was such a pain in the ass to book Backlash that they need to do things at WrestleMania to set Backlash up so it's not a pain in the ass for them.
Yeah.
So that's good, right? Like, you'll get Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins at probably, arguably, your least important pay-per-view of the year. The one after WrestleMania that nobody really cares about.
That Bruce Pritchard said on screen on the show that WWE said, yep, this is what makes us look best in the best light. Said, yep, no, Backlash, like Backlash is tough because it's not, not on the same level as a WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yep.
The pain
Get fired up.
The pain in the ass to book.
Yep.
Like, do you understand how hard it is? So now they're entering that WrestleMania is not going to be the finale, like the season finale. It's not going to wrap storylines up. It's going to continue to promote a pay-per-view now in the end of April or May or whenever Backlash is, which is your least important pay-per-view of the year. Like, what pay-per-view would be less important than that one? I don't even know, but now you're doing angles on WrestleMania to set the next one up. And isn't WrestleMania supposed to be like a finale and a wrapping up of storylines, and then to be able to go in new directions? Isn't that what it is?
Theoretically. So
what do you think?
The match itself until the run-in and then the pin from Gunther was a solid. Like, in terms of the work, this was probably the best match, but it's not really saying much on this card.
No, because when Gunther gets to the back, what's he thinking?
Can't believe I work for this company.
No, but the company built me up to be the next guy, and they put me in the middle of night number 1, and I needed help to beat the guy that's just coming back from injury, and I wasn't able to do that on my own. And then after I beat him, I left, and then the angle to make Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins more important continued.
Yep.
So I know I said it, but Gunther is one of the guys for me. It's like, okay, I can suspend all of my kind of hatred or that how much I don't like some of the rest of the product, because when Gunther comes out, I've enjoyed what they're doing with him. And now this. Well, we got a women's world title match after this, because we're going to stick Gunther between AJ Lee and Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer. Now, Zach, on the show where we had to draft our own teams of people that we would take to start a wrestling company, there had to be a female. The 3 females that went were Mercedes Moné, Rhea Ripley, and Stephanie Vaquer. You took Stephanie, did you not?
I did.
Okay. How are you feeling about that pick?
I feel
that she lost her world title in 6:51 to Liv Morgan.
Yeah, 7 minutes.
Oh.
Yes, I feel dejected. I feel I don't want to say embarrassed, but I feel, my feelings aren't towards Stephanie Vaquer, it's more towards Triple H.
Of course. Yeah, this isn't really about her.
Yeah.
But about how they perceive the person that you would want to start a company with.
Yeah. They had put the title on her, and I thought, for whatever it's worth, I'm like, she came in there, she's proved that she's belonged. And so this is how you repay her. 7 minutes. And this was a story of, like, literally one of the elements of the story that Liv Morgan brought up was, she said that Stephanie Vaquer grew up in mud huts, right? And I was like, I feel like this has just kind of gone under the radar and not many people are talking about it. Very weird how they built this story. I don't like the implications that they were going with the story with.
Yep.
So I'm like, oh, well, if they're doing that, it might be odd if Stephanie Vaquer loses here, because you feel like you have to overcome something like that. But Lee, we forget who's booking this promotion. And we forget that one of the matches at WrestleMania, that man that currently books this promotion was against Booker T. And they had similar elements of this in their match. Whereas, like, playing him down and bringing these elements that, quite frankly, were uncomfortable. And then there's the famous moment in that WrestleMania 18 match between Triple H and Booker T, where Triple H hits the pedigree. They both lie down for what felt like an hour.
Oh my
Triple
God.
H crawls over,
Yep.
puts his arm over Booker T. 1, 2, 3, and that kills off any sort of momentum Booker T had in trying to get to the main event. And then people wonder why, they don't like Triple H. And so now we have this. First of all, we had Liv Morgan. She has that new song out, as we discussed on the preview show. Trouble, trouble, that's me. Doing her little dance. She's at the chair. And
how does it go again?
Trouble, trouble, that's me. Cherry lips, and I don't know what else after that. I just tuned out after that. I just know that that's part of the lyrics. because they were playing that song. I see Stardust Tesla's comment there. So glad we didn't get the full music video. You're technically not wrong, but we also did get the full music video because it extended into the entrance. Like we practically got the full video because it started off with that as like, oh, they're showing the video, and again, it's very 2000s Christina Aguilera-esque, but without the charisma.
Tanner says, trouble, trouble. My ears bleed.
Yeah, fair enough on that too. And so they decided to take that dance routine from the music video, where I'm like, hopefully I don't have to ever see that again. But they decided to put it into the entrance. And so Liv's in this like oversized suit, right? And doing the dance, and I'm no prude, Lee, but I was like, what is going on like on this stage here? And they were in their chair, they're whipping their hair back and forth and going around, and it felt like forever, Lee. It felt like I think it was like a 5-minute entrance. Like, I get it, trouble, that's me. I get it, you're trouble. I get it. Like, can we get to the ring, please? And they did their whole dance routine. And then Stephanie Becker, she came out for her entrance. They didn't really give her that much. And then it was a 7-minute match. And she lost. I thought that was it. She had the moment. She lifted up the title above, and all of the Judgment Day came out, and that was it, Lee.
Oh, it was important that we got some interference from.
Yes. Oh, well, yes, of course. It is a WWE match, so you have to have your interference. So Stephanie Becker dove to the outside. Liv Morgan got out of the way, and then took out both the competitors there. And
Raquel and Roxanne, who
and this 7-minute match, by the way, came after 20 minutes of downtime between ads. Plus, you throw in the entrances. So I'm sitting there with my hands like on it, just like waiting, and just like, all right, let's just get to the match here, please. I've seen this Hulk Hogan Netflix documentary be promoted for the 17,000th time. Can we please just get to the wrestling on the show called WrestleMania? And they gave us 7 minutes. Get fired up. And this isn't even the worst part of the downtime, Lee.
We have a new women's world champion in Liv Morgan. And shocking that she's crying and in tears before the 3 count even happens. And it's WrestleMania. I get it. Like it's like, I shouldn't be saying that. There's just too much crying on this show. But then, Zach, Bianca Belair. She's back. Right? Bianca Belair. She's back in the WWE. Like, finally, she cut her finger.
Yeah.
Like a year ago.
She had like a finger surgery and she was gone. It's like, wow, this is some gnarly finger injury. Like this, we're obviously not in the generation like the NFL where Ronnie Lott is cutting off his finger to just go back out on the field.
Right.
So,
and Bianca Belair reveals she's pregnant. I'm not understanding why Montez Ford's not out there.
Yeah.
And she's being hugged by John Cena. Like, I don't understand that.
Momently, I was more stunned they didn't put a corporate logo over top of Bianca Belair's stomach to try and promote something at this point.
It's actually pretty funny.
Like it's like, oh, Bianca Belair is having a baby. Sponsored by Slim Jim. Like, I was like, you don't think TKO thought about it?
That would not be the right sponsor.
No.
Especially if Montez Ford was out there. Like, Slim Jim. It would not be the right.
No. I mean, Slim Jim's willing to sponsor the table. I mean, why not? Just extend it out.
I know.
Bianca Belair's pregnant. Brought to you by Dodge Ram Trucks.
Okay, well, that would be a better sponsor, Dodge Ram, for her getting pregnant than a Slim Jim getting her pregnant.
Yes.
The The dude wipes demons gonna go hard tonight, says Tanner.
The demon outfit, but it says dude wipes on his chest. Like, that's gonna be fantastic.
And then Skew says she's having a baby, but not a baby Yoda. He's over there.
Yeah. They promoted the Mandalorian. It was not Pedro Pascal. I can tell you that for sure.
And Stardust Tesla says, "Oh my God, she's back! Wait, you can tell me she's back, or you can come back to tell me that you're not back."
Yes.
That's exactly what happened.
Yep. WrestleMania moment here. WrestleMania moment. So
exactly what happened.
Yep. And so, yeah, John Cena was announcing the attendance. And again, it was hilarious. John Cena's like, there's been a lot of controversy about the attendance over the last couple of weeks, I'll say. And of course, they had to put it over 50,000. Like, over 50,000 people are here. And if you notice that the tickets, it's big movement of tickets. Like last 2 days, it was like 4,000, 5,000 last 2 days. Wow, it's like they're selling them like hotcakes, or it's the paper, right? Like they're getting the paper tickets out there to make sure it doesn't look as empty. And they were making the joke that with Bianca Belair having a new kid, the attendance should actually be 50,817 or whatever.
Right.
So, moments, Lee. And this set off Lee. Many years ago, I had a famous rant. It gets quoted on here every once in a while. 55 minutes, Lee.
Australia, Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax. I remember main event, because we need Nia Jax in the main event of a pay-per-view. But what does 55 minutes mean for people who don't know?
Lee, 55 minutes, for those that might be new listeners, is the amount of time on that Australia show that was between one of the matches and the main event. 55 minutes. Because in between, they had a Cody Seth segment that you could easily put on Raw during that Australia show. And so 55 minutes was the length of time. And I went on a massive rant during that time because it was closer to an hour than 0 minutes for the next match, which is crazy. It still is crazy. So, Lee, what did they do here at WrestleMania? First of all, in totality on the show, at that point, there was a total of 53 minutes of wrestling. 53. The rest was ads or entrances or promotional spots or whatever. And so at that point, we had less than an hour of wrestling before we got to the main event on our 3.5-hour show. Because it started at 6, we're getting into 9 o'clock at 9:30. So for 3.5 hours, we had less than an hour of professional wrestling on the wrestling show.
Mm-hmm.
Lee, between the women's title match and the main event, when the bell run and all the stuff happened in between, Lee, it was 45 minutes.
Come on.
Until the match. 4-5. It was closer to an hour than 0 minutes for the next professional wrestling match. People paid thousands of dollars to sit there and consume ads and watch entrances for 45 minutes between matches. That's insane. How could people accept this? How? Genuinely. How could people, especially on a product like WrestleMania, where they have built this up, and rightfully too, a premium product in WrestleMania, how can this be acceptable? How are there not pitchforks out of Stamford, Connecticut, asking for their money back because they had their time wasted, because they have spent more time consuming ads and consuming videos and consuming entrances than the actual professional wrestling match? How? It shouldn't blow my mind, but they've been doing this for the last couple of years now.
Because they don't care about the people that actually care about their product.
They don't care about them.
They care about the people who don't care about their product. They care about the people in the audience that are going for the first time, that are, don't really understand. They haven't really followed the product. Those are the people that they care about. The people who actually do follow along, they take for granted and they think are going to come along anyway, no matter what we do. So we literally do not care about those people. It's startling to say that. So I did watch on delay last night. So, and as Stardust Tesla said, that's why you need to watch on a delay. I did watch on a delay last night, not because of what you're talking about, just because I was out doing some other things last night and came back and watched it with no spoilers. So the run card on, like, when I turned it on Netflix, I believe it was right at the 4-hour mark. I think it could have been 3:50 something. Like, it's just a few minutes before 4 hours. If you go to Netflix right now and you turn it on, then you'll see what the runtime is on their show with the commercials and everything else. Zach, can you tell me the runtime of the matches last night? Because I can tell you that it's, without an exact number, it's somewhere between an hour 23 and an hour 24.
In total, including the main event.
Correct. 1 hour, and the main event was the longest match. So up until this point, when the bell rang, you're talking about that they're pretty much at 3 hours and 30 minutes, give or take, 320, 325.
Mm-hmm.
And there is 1 hour of wrestling, 60 minutes of wrestling. Not even.
I mean, it's insane.
Right? Like 1 hour and you're 3 hours and 30 minutes in.
Where's the value? Like, where's the value I'm getting in that? Like, and we'll talk about the main event. I just, like...
Yep. Well, we need to get into the main event here, because this is where all the traction was going into the night.
Yep.
Cody Rhodes, the champion, defending against the Viper, Randy Orton, and Pat McAfee, the one on the phone to Randy Orton. The big surprise was that Randy Orton was listening to Pat McAfee on the phone, and Pat McAfee would be forced to leave the wrestling industry permanently if Randy Orton lost to Cody Rhodes. I'd like to talk about the entrances, Zach, because that's my thing. You talk about the matches, I talk about the before.
Yep.
It was nice of them to spend a couple bucks on Randy's entrance.
Yeah, the snake slithering around the posts. And...
couple bucks.
Yeah. They got the Adobe After Effects program working, and
Randy came out in some trunks.
Yep.
Pat McAfee came down before looking like, I don't even know how to describe what he looked like, other than if he's trying to come across like a big heel that you're supposed to hate. He just looked like this weird guy at the end of the bar.
Yeah.
Like, he just looked kind of like this creepy dude, like not in a man, I hate you way, like just in a, yeah, you look really odd way.
Do you, the best comp I saw is, do you know Max Headroom, the TV show and the character Max Headroom?
I don't.
If you search up Max Headroom, Pat McAfee with the sunglasses on and the hair looks just like Max Headroom. And I was like, oh, that's what I was looking for, because he looked exactly like him.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
He really does.
Yes.
Who is Max Headroom?
It was fictional show back in the day. It was advertised the first computer generated TV presenter. I know him more because somebody hijacked some Chicago television stations in a Max Headroom mask and then sent out a message and then was never heard from again. It's like one of those weird conspiracy theories about who this guy was. But
Premiering in 1985, Headroom was a real but fake TV host who was advertised as the first computer-generated TV presenter.
yes.
Okay, but he does look like Max Headroom.
I'm telling you, it looks exactly bang on. So
All right.
I saw that comp, and so yeah, he was walking down and he was flipping the bird, but you couldn't tell because the cameras did the like they like adjusted to make sure it wasn't caught on camera. This is not the Attitude Era anymore, folks. So they're not catching Steve Austin.
You've popped Stardust Tesla, who says LMAO. I'll never unsee that now. Yeah, now
Right?
that I've seen it too.
Yeah.
It's like that's a pretty bang on comparison.
Yes, it looked just like him. And so yeah, they did the adjustment. He's going out, he's swearing at people, and yeah, and then the Randy Orton entrance, as you mentioned, like it's still going on as we're talking.
It
actually.
is. Like
And the song is looping again. It's like, I get it. You hear the voices in your head. Like,
no,
just
here's
get
Pat
to the
McAfee's
ring.
voice. Pat McAfee's voice in the phone.
Yeah.
I'd love if they would have adjusted the song.
Yes.
I hear voices in the phone and it's Pat McAfee. I'll try and find some more positives. I actually didn't mind Cody's entrance.
I thought it looked cool. I thought it was a cool entrance.
That they went back to some of yesteryear in the Cody Rhodes development arc, that they missed the AEW part, but that's okay.
Yeah. There's a weird period in between that's kind of missing, but
there was, but they went from Cody Rhodes.
It's like earlier in the show, they had the CM Punk package, right? And like CM Punk, he's worked the indies. He went to Ring of Honor, and then he made his dream come true of going to WWE. They left in 2014, and he came back in 2020. It's like, wait a minute, there's like a whole like stretch there that you're missing. Like, what's going on? What happened?
So they missed that part of it, but I thought that it was kind of well done with looking at the sort of the highlights of where he was, and then coming back to the I don't know, what would you call them? Of like the gear.
Yeah, memorabilia, I guess you could
like
call
you were
it.
in a museum kind of looking at the different stages of Cody Rhodes' life. And then he came up and he was all in gold and he had the gold helmet on. And I thought the entrance was pretty cool for Cody. It's not like, it wasn't one of those entrances where you were so hyped to see him that, like, when he came out for the title match against Roman Reigns, that was more about the excitement of what was to come and the that you were excited to see him. This was more like a presentation of Cody Rhodes rather than the like full excitement that people were feeling when he came out. But I thought the presentation of this was pretty cool. Like all in gold. I love the gold helmet, and you know, just him coming out like that, I thought was, yeah, man, this guy is still a star. Like, he is still an absolute star. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Out of all the entrances on WrestleMania, this one felt like a true WrestleMania entrance.
Yeah. Okay, Zach, and then they started wrestling. I'm excited to hear. Very excited to hear from celebrity on celebrity to broadcast table spots to how it all happened. All right, Zach, the floor is yours.
Before the match even began, Lee, Pat McAfee had the belt, took a shot at Cody Rhodes.
He did.
Knocked him down, and it's Pat McAfee. He's standing in the corner. Orton's doing the stomps, and McAfee's doing the stomps with him. And he was like telling the audience that they were Nimrods or whatever, and just telling them that they're idiots. And eventually led to Pat McAfee, some brawling, got to a jelly roll came out from the corner. Like, here we go. There's that jelly roll. You know, we were waiting for how jelly roll was going to get involved in this, which is real words I just said. And so he comes in, McAfee's laid out after the attack, and bell hasn't run yet because they were all brawling all over the place. And the opening match, the final match, had a celebrity take out another celebrity through an announce table. I'm telling you, somebody, please do some sort of overseeing. Like, save it for night 2 if you're going to do this same spot. I don't know. But no, we have to do this. So Jelly Roll does the splash on McAfee. And it was pointed out to me by Ethan, of all people. And it's like, wait a minute. Pat McAfee went into a match with Gunter. He had a whole advertise on the card match with Gunter. And the whole buildup was how he was able to fight valiantly through the match with Gunter in that match, right?
And that match wasn't awful because Gunter carried it. But
yeah, absolutely.
It wasn't the worst thing you've ever seen.
It was the shaking of hands at the end, right? Like, you remember that.
We were surprised at the end how decent it was.
Yeah, and he fought valiantly. For some reason, this splash from Jelly Roll that he delivered, or the elbow drop or whatever, was so devastating to Pat McAfee, who, again, wrestled Gunter, had a 15, 20-minute match with Gunter, and had his hand raised at the end. This elbow drop from Jelly Roll knocked him out so incapacitated that they had to pull the stretcher out and put him on top of the stretcher and had to be stretchered away. Guys, he's a wrestler. He's wrestled matches for you. And it'd be one thing if this is the first time he's ever...
He wrestled Adam Cole.
Yes, he wrestled Adam Cole. He wrestled Gunter. He was involved in that WrestleMania segment with Stone Cold Steve Austin. He took a stunner from Steve Austin. But
right.
the splash, the elbow drop from Jelly Roll,
which is one of the worst. Like, Jelly Roll's actually been decent for a celebrity coming in, and this was not a very good showing from Jelly Roll either.
No, he lost weight for the role. Good on him, but he's able to incapacitate an all-pro punter too. On top of that, a former all-pro punter. And he gets stretched out on the wheelchair.
Artist Tesla says, anyone noticed that paramedics rolled the stretcher wheels over his ankle?
Yes, that's a good observation.
We rewound it to watch it again. I missed that, so I'm going to go back and watch that Stardust Tesla. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, so they put him on the stretcher. This is a little much, but I get what they're trying to go for here. And then, of course, he's being wheeled out, and he throws the thumbs up on. And then he gets booed for it, so he puts up the middle finger. I got to admit, I like that spot. I thought that was funny. So I enjoyed that. And so they're stretching it out. And so finally, commentary is like, finally, we are getting the match that we have wanted. A simple one-on-one match between Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. We are finally going to get this. And that's exactly what I said. Is who's we in this scenario? I didn't ask for this, but okay. It's we are finally getting the one-on-one match between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. And Jelly Roll went off somewhere, never to be seen again. I guess he did his job from laying out Pat McAfee so much that he incapacitated him, and they had to bring the stretcher out and stretcher him out of the building. Now so I'm okay.
It's a good point that you brought up, because now I'm picturing Gunther watching this in the back.
Yes.
Going, I totally understand. I mean, I had to go 15 minutes with McAfee, but Jelly Roll elbow drop. Yeah. No, I mean, that would do that to me too. He must be feeling really good watching that back.
Keep a pin on the Pat McAfee stuff though. And so, it was we're going to get this match. I was all right, here we go. What does Randy Orton have in store? What does Cody Rhodes have in store for the main event of WrestleMania? What do they have in store? Lee, they had an absolutely boring main event. I was bored to tears. It was every Randy Orton match you've seen in the last 10 years. You're going to be shocked to hear this, Lee, but even at WrestleMania, this is the opportunity to do something different. Make yourself stand out. What does Randy Orton do? He sells the back again. Every Orton match is the same. He's selling the, oh, my back. Oh, in the corner. Oh, I'm selling my back. I'm in the corner. Oh, my back. And we have the side headlocks, and we have the, work on the mat. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, is there anybody in this company that can go to another gear? Please Somebody get this to a third gear. Somebody, Cody's in the ring. Take this up a notch, please. And it was just all this like boring work of just the side headlock and the slow movements. And I hated this.
Randy Orton, before the build-up to this show, said, before we knew about the Pat McAfee, Randy Orton, the team we never knew that we needed so badly. Randy Orton went on the Pat McAfee show, and they're like, how have you lasted so long? And he said, because I haven't picked anybody up in 20 years.
Yes.
And that's the guy they said, you know what? We need that guy in the main event.
Yeah.
And then they did it like in this weird way. They did it where people were clamoring to just have Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton back because they screwed it up so badly with all of the crap that they threw at it in the last few weeks that people were like, can we please just get Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, which that bar, folks, is just not high because Randy Orton hasn't picked anybody up in 20 years and he hasn't had a good match in 20 years. Yeah. So like, but that was the standard that people wanted because they threw so much crap at it that were like, oh, please just give us this.
Yes.
Well, you got it.
Yeah, you certainly got a Randy Orton match. There was a point, and this is where I have to apologize to the WWE fan base.
Okay.
There was a point in the match where I was like, God, can Pat McAfee come out of here, please? Like, can Pat because at least he brings energy into this thing. Like, somebody, like, get Pat McAfee back out here, please. Because after this, the 16 minutes of work in the back and my lower back, the same back I've been selling for 20 years. Like the same match over and over and over again.
The best Charles Robinson impression came back.
Well, here's the thing. They started to bleed. And I was like, okay, well, at least there's some juicing going on. There's some juicing going on right along the forehead, right? Randy Orton's bleeding. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. So they went from 15 minutes of boring, uninspiring limb work. Like, just because you're selling doesn't mean it's a great match. Like, can we stop this, please? Like, you also have to do stuff in between, right? To like get the selling shouldn't be the only thing. So we had boring work, and then you're not going to believe this in a WWE main event, Lee, but Lee, they traded finishers. Oh, something we've never seen before in a WWE main event. They exchanged finishers. Give me a break.
Which, by the way, they did with Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu earlier, where they traded their finishers and didn't get each other either.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so they traded finishers, and I was like, all right, this is like multiple ideas coming together. It's like Randy's match and the WWE style all coming together. Is like, so they exchanged finishers. Blood starts coming down from Randy. Cody also got cut. I missed where he got cut. I don't know if you were able to catch it, but he started bleeding too. His eye was swollen up last I checked. So like he got some sort of gnarly cut. Not worth it, I'll tell you that, but he certainly got cut. And so then because of all the, this is where we get into the finish.
Yep.
So because
take your time.
How do I try to explain this?
I'm looking forward to it.
So, because of all the blood that was in Randy's eye, he mistook blonde Cody Rhodes with the blonde referee Charles Robinson and RKO Charles Robinson.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, odd, but, fine. So he RKO'd the referee, right? Okay, odd. I think there was also like a Cody was trying to go for the Cody cutter. I'm like, you're doing the Cody cutter against Randy Orton. You're going to jump backwards into the...
Literally putting yourself in the like RKO position more than Randy could ever get you in the RKO position. Great strategy, Cody.
Yes, absolutely. And it was awkward too, because he also was like, well, I don't want to land on my back, so I have to turn around when I'm coming for the Cody cutter. So he turned around to get caught by the RKO, right? I was like, okay. And then Pat McAfee's back. And this is where, again, I have to apologize to the fan because I was calling for him to come back because it was boring as hell.
Yep.
I'm like, I got what I asked for, and you know what? This actually got worse. So Pat McAfee runs down. He's got the comedic Andy Kaufman style neck brace on.
I
And he's
laughed.
got a referee shirt.
I laughed when he was running down. Like
Yeah, and he's doing full sprint down the
he's
ring.
doing the Charles Robinson, running as fast as he could.
Yeah.
Like it kind of popped me like for 1 second going, that's actually funny.
Yes, I did enjoy that too. So he's running down. I'm like, he's got a referee shirt. It's like, wait a minute, is he a legal referee? Like, how is he? But just because he has a ref shirt on, does that mean he has the power and the authority to call this match? So he's running down the ring and he's going full tilt. He's got the neck brace on. He's doing this whole thing. So he slides in and like Orton hooks the leg, and then he goes 1, 2, and then Cody kicks out of the Pat McAfee pinfall attempt. There's so many.
There's so many things wrong with this. I know.
So number one, how does Pat McAfee have the authority to be a referee?
Right? Very legitimate question.
I was apparently it was said on commentary because they were insinuating the Ariel Emanuel stuff. And they were like, oh, because of the power that's given to him, I guess like that's how he was able to get the authority to get because he just runs roughshod, which I didn't hear on commentary because I was just so like, what's going on? So Pat McAfee, like, first of all, how is he a legal referee? Number two, why is Cody kicking out of the count?
Well, explain to me if Pat McAfee is coming down to be the referee, like the first thing I thought of was Nick Patrick.
Yes.
NWO Nick Patrick referee.
Yep.
That's what Pat McAfee looked like. So you're going to have to explain to me if Pat McAfee wanted Randy Orton to win and apparently has the ability to call the match.
Why didn't he fast count him?
Why did he not fast count?
That was going to be my third point, Lee.
He took his sweet ass time and it was just like 1, 2, like, dude, you want this guy to win.
Yeah.
Like
Cody popped the shoulder up.
And then Cody pops the and he stops counting. Like,
and Pat McAfee studies like, oh, I can't believe. I'm like, you have the power. You can make this a fast count. And he's looking stunned and Randy's looking
I know. There's just so much wrong with this. It was like it popped me big time. Like as soon as he got in there, I'm going, oh, he's gonna fast count. Like when he's running down, I'm like, they better time this right because he's gonna fast count and Cody's gotta lift his shoulder real quick.
Yeah.
Right? Like they gotta find a way out of the fast count. And that's what I thought when he was running down. And then he gets in the ring and he counted slower than some of the other referees doing their job.
I guess for some reason, like, well, look, I'm a referee. I have to call it down. You're the what? What is this? It's so. I was like, get back on the ring.
I know.
Pat and Randy are like standing outside. I was like, okay, well, there's still. And then for some reason, Randy RKO's Pat McAfee, like he knocks him out.
Okay, so don't gloss over that.
Yeah,
the guy he talked on the phone with for a month, and the guy that he's been with, he just RKOs for what?
I don't know. Like he's the guy. He's the one referee that's awake and that's helping you. And for some reason, he's like, all right, I'm out, and just RKOs.
As Stardust Tesla says, and then the RKO because he didn't fast count?
I guess.
He's like, that was so confusing.
It
like,
was.
Is that the reason why? Oh, Sir Boblo is in. He deserves the RKO for screwing Randy over, honestly. So is that what, like after all of that, he got the RKO because he was mad that he didn't fast count? Is that what they're trying to explain to us?
If that is so convoluted, how does he have the capacity to call the match in the first place?
Right.
Like, what do we explain that to me? Like, I'm trying to figure that one out. Like, so he RKO's Pat McAfee. I'm like, what are you doing? This is the guy that's on your side. Like, he's looking to you. He's like, I don't know. He kicked out 1, 2.
Like, and Sir Boblo says maybe, and like, I don't have a better suggestion for you, but if that's their reasoning, it's ludicrous.
It's idiotic. It's so yeah, Pat's looking like, I don't know what to
he's explaining to Randy Orton that look, he kicked out.
He kicked out. Look, I'm a heel, but I got a call. It's
But this all happened, Zach. Okay, so picture me. It's like I got home late, right? And I started this at, I don't know, 11:30 or whatever time. So by the time I did fast forward through the 45 minutes, which is good. Like I didn't quite get that. But as I'm watching it, it's like 1:30 in the morning, whatever time it is. And I've been up late. We did, we did the Sens game, by the way. The Sens down 1-0, but we did that game on OSN. Myself and Tanner with the pre and post game. And then I went to a junior game and saw Rockland beat Smith Falls in overtime. And then I come home. And by the way, I know this doesn't, I should probably say this on OSN, but like there was a fight in the stands in Smith Falls at the final between like an older person and an 18-year-old.
Oh, jeez.
Like, come on. By the way, no police or security at the rink with 500 people.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, why would, on a Saturday night in Smith Falls, like, why would we do that? But then I came back here and it's like 1:30 in the morning watching this. And in my mind, McAfee's doing the full Nick Patrick and Charles Robinson. He's running down. And in my mind, all I'm thinking about, and this all happened so quick, is like, they better time this right. Cody better raise his shoulder because he's going to fast count. And how are they going to get out of this?
Yeah.
And then he just counted normally. And I'm like, and he kicked out and he's explaining to Randy Orton. And my mind is just blowing up at this point, going, what has happened in the last 20 seconds? What has happened here? And then he RKO's McAfee.
Yes.
And I'm supposed to follow this? Like, as Stardust Tesla says, he did say RKO everybody, but okay, so the bigger point, trying to make some sense of this, is that they want people to follow along the storyline. At best, this is one of the more confusing things to try to follow in a short period of time. So if you were able to, like Sir Boblo, maybe, or like at some point, if you were able to follow along at the end of this main event and it completely makes sense to you, okay. It didn't to me, but okay, good for you. But the bigger point would be, how many people do you actually think in all of this like schmoz at the end that you were like, oh yeah, this makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense that Pat McAfee would run back down in a referee's shirt, have the authority to count the pin in a World Heavyweight Championship match in the main event of WrestleMania, but then he doesn't fast count and Cody Rhodes kicks out, and then Pat McAfee's trying to explain to Randy Orton that, yeah, he kicked out and he got his shoulder up. And then Randy Orton RKO's the guy that he was on the phone with for a month on SmackDown programming that we talked about who it could possibly be. We're coming up with all of these actually really good ideas about who it could be, but it's Pat McAfee. And then they tell you for weeks that after it's Pat McAfee that our programming sucks and that everybody sucks and here's 25% off tickets. If you follow all of this at the end and say, you know what? Makes sense to me. Good for you. I think that's great. If you think it made sense to 99% of the people watching, you are out of your goddamn mind. This was like Cody Rhodes must be thinking last year in the main event of WrestleMania in Vegas, the same place in Vegas where he lost to John Cena in one of the worst main events of all time in the history of WrestleMania.
Yep.
And he's going back to this same ring, the same place 1 year later. Cody, what are you thinking about this year? What are you thinking when you got to the back that this was awesome. When you got to the back, did you think, Cody, you know what? I made up for last year. I know we screwed people over with the Cena Travis Scott thing, but you know what? We made up for it this year. Man, I feel good because we came back to Vegas and we made things right. Is that how Cody Rhodes felt?
Probably not. This is, in my mind, this is worse than last year.
Right. That's impossible.
Which I didn't think was possible.
It's impossible to be worse than Travis Scott's entrance that he's still coming out in last year. It's impossible to have a match that would be worse than what happened last year. And I think they accomplished it. I think they got there.
It was unbelievable. Like, and then, yeah, Cody came in. He got to the Crossroads one and pinned him. And it was like, oh, Cody retains. I thought Randy was winning because they were continuing this. Like, I thought it was happening when Pat was running down and going to do the count. And little did I know it was going to come after that. But Cody wins. All hands up high. But it's all for naught because the heel had to get his heat back.
Yep.
In the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah, Zach, if you're not promoting Backlash at every point that you can, if you don't think Backlash, because as Bruce Pritchard said, pain in the ass to book, we need to do things that we need to bring Braun Breaker out.
Yep.
We're going to have Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins at Backlash. So we'll do that in a massive moment at WrestleMania. And then in the biggest moment of WrestleMania, we'll make sure that we continue the feud. And at Backlash, we'll probably get Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes again.
Yeah. Well, we know we're not, or I shouldn't say we know. I think Pat McAfee is not going to be a WWE anymore because of the stipulation, but I don't know. He could show up on Raw, Monday, and we would be all back to, we'd all back, doing this whole thing over and over again. But of course, the heel has to get his heat back in the main event, right? Of course, at WrestleMania, as it's known in WrestleMania, it's not about the babyface triumphing and then you get the big visual at the end. No, it's about the heel getting their heat back so that he can get to the next pay-per-view. And so Randy Orton beats up Cody Rhodes and he sets up for the punt kick. And I was like, people were like, oh, the punt. We haven't seen the punch in so long. And he punts Cody Rhodes in the head and he stands tall and holds the belt as we end WrestleMania Night 1 with the heel who did not win the belt, but he lost, but he got his heat back in the main event and held the title up high with his foot over Cody. And now we got a program that's continuing here. Get
Zach,
fired.
If they did this at the end of Backlash, I'd be pissed off.
This is unbelievable.
But it's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It's the biggest show of the year. It's your finale. It's where they tell you all the time. They tell you. It's where it's a culmination of a year's work that wraps up, and then it's the beginning of a new year. It's January 1st. It's the beginning of a new school year. Like, things are changing.
Yep.
No. Nope.
Heel gets his heat back. WrestleMania. And the story continues as we end Monday Night Raw with the heel, the visual of the heel getting the heat. So, and that's your main event. That was your main event. And I sat there and I'm like, this is actually worse than the Cena match last year. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, at least with the Cena match last year, at least when Travis Scott came down, I at least understood.
Right. Yeah, you didn't like it.
Understand how Pat McAfee has the referee shirt on. He has the legal authority to call the match. I don't know. So, oh, what a show. This was all time. This is the worst WrestleMania I've ever seen. I really, just because of everything around it. It was just like, the commentary, the ads, the matches, like.
I'll go back to something I said at the beginning when I thought that Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu was just fine.
Yeah.
When I look at it now, I'm like,
considering what else we saw.
Right. Like, It wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad compared to some of the other things. I just there's two things that I look to, and two people that I look to what they must possibly be thinking, and that we talked about it already, but both Gunther and Cody Rhodes, arguably, at least on night one, arguably your two biggest stars. Both won their matches at WrestleMania, and both should feel like this company is literally throwing them under the bus. Right?
Oh yeah.
Like what could they possibly be thinking? Imagine what if you got some truth serum and got them by themselves, what Cody Rhodes and Gunther would be thinking about what just happened last night. Ask yourself, do you think, like legitimately in the arc of their career, do you think that they're happy? Do you think that they feel great about the position that they're in? Do you think that they're like, yes, this company is going in the right direction. This company has my back. This company, and I know people will argue, like even Stardust Tesla said, I mean, is it a bad year when you're making millions, have your face plastered over buses, signs, billboards, and get to bring your wife and daughter around the world? I think
if that's how you look at it.
Yeah, but I don't think Cody Rhodes looks at it that way. And I don't know Cody Rhodes, but he is a historian. He cares about the business. He cares about, like, I think they all have egos, so don't get me wrong. I think he thinks of himself sometimes, but the business and some of the way that it's happened and how it happens matters to Cody Rhodes. It at least appears to me that that's true. Whether it is or not, I don't know, but I think it matters to Cody Rhodes. We see him get emotional at different times about things that matter to him. So I'm going to believe that he is not in it to go, my face is on the billboard and I'm making millions and I get to take my wife and daughter around and life is just incredible. And he gets to the back last night and goes, you know what? Nailed it.
We got him.
We got him.
Yeah.
There's no way. I don't believe Cody Rhodes thinks that way. And Gunther, there's no way.
Gunther, especially, I don't think thinks that way.
Yeah. Sir Boblo says Cody must be pissed because he's been in bad stories. Gunther at least has a story angle going. Isn't a great way to get another retirement, but it is another story for him. Yes, but they, you're right, Sir Boblo, that Cody probably has more reason to be pissed about all the things that they threw. And by the way, we didn't even get to talk about Cody Rhodes. Like, we've done a million shows, which is great. Like, we've had a ton of content the last few weeks. Yes. But we didn't even get to talk about Cody Rhodes going and like breaking into the Thunderdome in Indianapolis.
Yep.
And taking his belt back and like wrecking the set of the Thunderdome of the Pat McAfee show. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Like the baby face is going and doing a break and enter.
Correct.
And wrecking things. Like, Cody, the title belt's coming to WrestleMania anyway. Not to worry. You don't need to go get it 3 days before and, create a crime to be able to do it. Still coming back.
Yep.
I thought that was stupid.
Yeah. Oh, what a show this was. I mean, when the news came out earlier yesterday that the ESPN reporter had his credentials blocked by WWE to go check out to review WrestleMania, I knew we were in for some sort of.
Yeah, and tell people exactly, because this is important. Because this was ESPN who was trying to do, I think they were partners, but they were trying to do a fair job at the beginning, putting some grades out on the shows.
Yep.
And the first couple of shows that ESPN did in the fall, they weren't great shows. And do you have his name?
Andreas Hale.
Andreas Hale, who was one of the reporters who I thought was Would he give him a C on the WrestlePalooza?
He gave the that was that show in Indianapolis a C.
Yeah. Was that WrestlePalooza?
That was WrestlePalooza, yes.
Yeah, he gave it a C, which I thought was fair, but not even too critical.
Yes.
It was an awful show.
Yes.
And he gave it a C. And that reporter legitimately had his credentials removed and was not able to go and report on, which, by the way, ESPN still yesterday on their main page, the front page story on ESPN.com was Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton all day long.
Yep.
NBA playoffs, nope.
NHL playoffs, definitely not.
NHL playoffs probably never gets that.
Even though they have rights to them, which is hilarious. But no, he tweeted it out. I have the tweet here. I will not be covering WrestleMania for ESPN. WWE denied my credentials and blocked my access. Neither I nor ESPN have been told why. You could speculate on the reasons, but if you want answers, ask WWE. Let me know what they tell you. Then at the end. So there's been a lot to discussed. I've seen 3 different reasons of why he could have been blocked access. That one you mentioned with the grades, the letter grades.
Yep.
The other one I saw is that apparently he did write a story about there was the latest additions from Janelle Grant to her lawsuit, and he did report on that for ESPN. So that's also could be a reason as well. Or the other one could be in those ESPN awards, which he has a vote on, is that in the ESPN awards, it was a lot of AEW that was on the awards. So neither reason is good to block. Sorry,
the Sports Illustrated.
Sports Illustrated. I think ESPN had some form of its own awards as well. I think they also had an AEW influence in those awards. I could be wrong. I've seen 3 different versions. All I know is that either one, if it was either one of those, it's a bad look either way to do that.
Yep.
So it's especially when it's a partner that you have for the PLEs.
But that's the thing. It's a partner.
Yeah.
Like, we get it. It's your show. You're going to let in who you feel like you're going to let in, but it's your partner. Oh my God.
Like, it's a bad look if it's just, oh, they gave us a C and a B. Like, we can't let this guy in. We hate these letter grades. So
Stardust Tesla says, let me tell you, it's not easy listening to you guys while helping kids do a Lego treasure hunt at Indigo.
Ooh.
That is what we call multitasking.
Yes. I want to do that right now, then watch this second night of WrestleMania. I can tell you that.
I was just going to say, as we sit here, we've gone about 2 hours and 12 minutes, which is about double or triple the amount of time that you got wrestling last night. And in about 5 hours from now, less than that, we got to go through all this again.
We got to do a second night of this.
And Sir Boblo says, I'm really worried about tonight. So I don't know that I'm as worried. We already did a preview show, but like I said, by the way, what I'll tell you maybe off the air who said this to me, but I gave this person a sheet of what kind of OSN is all about.
Yep.
This is OSN.com. What OSN is for people who want to know, if I'm going into a business or whatever. It's just a front and back of what we are as a group.
Yep.
On OSN. And some of the words down at the end were like, it started off with like community, and then it was like edgy and bold, and I don't have it in front of me, but some like not afraid. And then at the end it was family. And they described it to me as like, oh, so basically on the way in, you're going to get a hug. And on the way out, you're also going to get a hug. But in the middle, we're kind of going to tear you up. And that's what I'm going to do here, because as we go into tonight, I would say that you and I both, when we asked what matches we were looking forward to the most, both picked a different match, and they were both going to be on night 2. You decided that Obafemi and Brock Lesnar was the one match that you would watch if you only could pick one.
Yep.
For me, I'm just still interested and believe in that CM Punk and Roman Reigns will give us something that won't be what we saw last night. And I think night 2 is going to be, and on the preview show, I think we both agreed that night 2 is probably going to be the new era of the WWE, and they're going to show us between Obafemi and Trick Williams and Javon Evans that those guys are going to carry. Now, we'll see. We don't know that. We'll see how it all happens. But man, oh man.
Yep.
They better hope that it's good tonight for me. People forget about what happened last night.
Yeah, it's hopefully.
Props to you, Stardust. Nap time at my house, so the kids will do anything but. Excellent. Stardust says I'd be listening in a church when it started, but the phone at that address, so and not until I left the parking lot. Been listening while watching shopping and errands. See, that's what we're here to do. We're here to just get you through your Sunday with multitask, doing other things. And Zach, I can't wait. Now, there's only 6 matches, I believe, tonight. Is that true?
You are correct. I think you are correct. I will confirm that for you here. But because we got the Obafemi match, we got the ladder match that's going to be on ESPN if you're in the States. Let me pull up the
Jade Cargill, Rhea Ripley.
Yes.
Sami Zayn, Trick Williams, The Demon, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio, and Punk and Reigns.
Yep.
If I'm missing one, let me know.
That's what I've got here on mine too. So I think we've got it all. But
I don't understand how Stardust Tesla went 4 for 5 in predictions for night number 1 when there were 7 matches. Can you
maybe you didn't watch the ESPN portion. Just went to the main card, if you consider that main card.
Well, nobody would have got that. Paige would have been a tag team champion.
So that would have been the one, I guess. Because if we had known Paige was coming on,
yeah, I mean, we all got. Well, I mean, not the main event, right? Like you and I both had Randy Orton in the main event.
I had Randy. I thought they were continuing the program, so
yeah. But everything else we were kind of on board with. I mean, nobody would have got Paige being. I think Paige and Brie Bella are going to be the world women's tag team champions. Said nobody ever before the event. Okay, Zach. Night number 2. It's on us in about 4.5 hours.
Yep.
Take a nap, get some rest.
I'm gonna get some lunch.
I'm
gonna try and refuel after that. A lot of my rage got out there.
Yeah, but it was good. And we look from Stardust Tesla to Excuse to Sir Boblo to
Tanner was here. And
Tanner.
Ben made a run in.
Ben did make a run in, like literally and figuratively, like in the chat and in the house. Ben made a run in. I know there's a couple of people. Richard was in. A couple of people that Kingdom was in. A couple of people watching WrestleMania Night 1 right now that I know. So they're not in because they're currently watching it.
Don't want to get spoiled and all that.
With no spoilers.
Maybe we should spoil them so that they can stop.
Right. Well, at this point, you got to stop anyway because you got to prepare. I am having some great people over, including our man, Gord St. Dennis.
There you go.
Coming over. Le Champion, I believe, will also be over. And then we'll see if we get, I think I think Ben might do a run in again at the end. There's no way he'll be here for 4.5 hours.
No.
We'll see if we get some of the Ashton crew, Steve and Eric up for a run in at the end. We'll see. But Zach, so much to look forward to. And so much already behind. Do you feel better? Is it cathartic at all?
Yeah, usually it's always funny because like I think if you just saw me through this, you would think I'm this crazy maniac, and I am to an extent. But I'm usually pretty like me, Lee. I'm
Yeah, I
usually like
know.
outside of this, I'm usually like not too bad. But something about these wrestling shows, man, they brings out a. I find the next gear that these wrestlers don't find in these WrestleMania matches, and that's it. Just all comes out on these recordings. So.
As I always told people before, I'm a bit more of a hyped up version sometimes on the air of
Mhm.
myself, but I'm not always the person that you hear either like before on the radio or on the podcast. Like I'm not quite like that all the time. And then every time there's a show on, they're like, actually, it looks like you just are more and more. And I think that's the same with you. It's like, I know that you're not, but I don't know that a lot of other people do. So it's
Yes,
kind of like, because this is how you just come across every show.
I
And they're
know.
like, it must be how he is. And I'm like, no, he's not really like that, guys. And they're like, okay. And then the next show, it's like, oh, there's Zach ranting again.
Yeah,
Uh,
it surprises people when they do see me in person because I'm like, hey, how's it going? It's good to see you. It's like, oh,
yeah,
I'm glad you like. And I'm like, I know my rants get a little silly. It gets a
yeah.
little bit, but
Like, welcome to it for the next 20 years. Zach will
yeah.
tell you,
So
welcome.
so I've learned. I think it's these lights that I've put up that I think it activates something, right? So
Well, I think it's great to be able to go on live. And honestly, even if there's a few people that are just doing their errands and with their kids and out at Indigo and, whatever you're doing today, the fact that you would have us on in the background and stick with us, we very, very much appreciate it.
absolutely.
It's the fun time of year. We got WrestleMania Night 2 tonight. Sens back in action in Game 2 tomorrow, which will have a full pregame and postgame for on This is OSN. And then hopefully going to be doing some kind of story time and shows like this kind of, but for hockey while the games are going on, and have some people here and tell some stories during the week when Ottawa's not playing. So just continue to stick here on OSN, tell your friends, and hopefully a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So we look forward to it. Okay, catch your breath. And Zach, so I'm probably going to be more angry. I'll probably hit you up at about 10:30 tonight and go,
Mhm.
no, Zach, I need to record right now because I am going to be forced to watch this live. Like
Mm.
all the commercials, all of the nonsense in between. That is me tonight, because when you're having people over to watch it, you don't get to start it at 7:30 when it starts at 6 and go,
Right.
yeah, we're just going to fast forward through all the crap. I don't get to do that.
Yeah.
So,
And I didn't get to do that last night either. So that's
right.
probably where a lot of the rage comes from.
Oh, fantastic. Stardust Tesla is wearing my Sens Plus Monday Night Raw shirt. Well, I would like you, Stardust Tesla, at some point to take a screen grab of us being on, if you possibly can.
Mhm.
And I've just enlarged. And as you can see, behind my right shoulder, but to your left
Yep.
on the screen, let me just get out of the way. That is the Monday Night Raw Ottawa Senators combination t-shirt that I will say was Stardust Tesla, designed by a big part of our stuff here and always been a big fan of the Champion. I believe had a big hand in that.
Yep.
So there you go. You learned something, and it's up in the background here,
That's right.
as well as my like beheaded Ottawa Senators jersey that has no head on it, but I put it on a pillow. You can see behind it.
Yep.
For some of those shows. Okay, Zach, we'll be texting. We'll be making sure that we're going to feel so much better after tonight. It's going to be, you know what? They're going to turn this frown upside down tonight with night 2 of WrestleMania.
I can't wait. I hope so. I hope that's going to be the case.
I know. All right. Well, we'll be back on soon.
Yep.
Whether it's tonight or tomorrow, or we'll figure it out. But
we'll see. For those that are tuning in on the podcast feed, make sure to subscribe to the This Is OSN YouTube channel to catch the live streams like this. So you can see me turn more red as the show goes on. And you could actually see the visual of me throwing my hands up in the air and putting my hands on my face and all that. So
it is good to be able to watch that.
Yep.
Stardust Testa also says, my kids are watching Oba versus Brock tonight, their first full match ever. 4 years old and 7 years old.
There you go.
Okay. Now we're talking.
Here we go.
You're going to have your kids
doing the dance.
The ring. Like this. You're going to see 5 of the best minutes you've ever seen tonight for your kids, and then it's bedtime.
Can't wait. I hope it rocks. I really do hope it rocks, but we'll see.
Okay.
So low face. So, but again, subscribe. This is OSN for the live, and if you're watching this live, or you could check out subscribe to the podcast feed. We'll still have our audio only shows for that podcast feed as well. So,
exactly. Stardust Test also said, "Don't you have a This Is Wrestling channel?"
Yes,
we do.
That's for the people that like tune in on YouTube Music. It's just kind of a separate podcast channel that they could subscribe to. So yes, it will be up there as well. So you can subscribe to that as well if you use YouTube Music but just want the audio. That's also there as well.
Yeah, but the worlds are merging between This Is Wrestling and OSN, except for like on exactly what you just said, Zach. All right, we'll let people go, get some rest. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon. We've got some good playoff hockey games going on today as well. And then it'll be WrestleMania. I do enjoy the one good thing that they got is the 6 o'clock Eastern start.
Yes.
That I can get behind.
Me too. More shows start, at that time. Please.
Yeah. So enjoy it. And Zach, you and I will talk soon. So for Zach McGibbon, I'm Lee Versage. We appreciate you being with us on a live edition after WrestleMania Night 1. We look forward to WrestleMania Night 2. Enjoy it.